So last few days we started discussing our DevOps overview session. First session we discussed about what is DevOps process. Okay, why is it very different? Why is it called as process? How the wonders we can achieve if you change a simple thing in a process. Okay, so and we discussed waterfall, agile, and DevOps, and why DevOps is very popular. We discussed all those things in the first session. And the second session, we discussed operating systems and scripting. We discussed Linux is more powerful in terms of consuming low power, more performance, and open source OS, more stability, and it occupies less memory. And 96.4% of the entire servers in the world are from Linux. Okay, and RHEL is the most popular enterprise operating system. Similarly, we can use CentOS, Fedora, AWS Linux 2 as community OS. And we discussed like you should learn basic commands and then user management, package management, service management, process management, and network management in the Linux. And we discussed how to create Linux server in AWS cloud and why cloud is mandatory nowadays, and how to connect to Linux servers using SSH protocol. Yeah, scripting also we discussed. Linux is the native scripting. Python is the to query the external systems. Okay, and later we discussed configuration management and source code management. Whenever you create a server, you need to configure it, like you need to install the OS and then install the operating system, install the Java or .NET or Python, whatever, and then create some users, create some directories, and you need to download the artifact and run the application server to deploy. Okay, similarly, whenever there is a code change, when you release the new version, you need to stop the application server, remove the old application, copy the latest application, start the server. So this is the general deployment process. And later we discussed the source code management. Git is very popular. We need it for version control and then keeping the code secure and backup collaboration between multiple persons, and to know who is changing what code, and the review mechanism, everything. These are the popular features of Git. And yesterday session we discussed CI/CD part. CI is nothing but and you many developers are writing the code. Ultimately, we need to convert it to a single file. That single file is called as artifact. So before writing and then converting into a single file, we have multiple stages. That is like compilation and packaging, scanning, unit testing. So all those things. And we discussed Jenkins is the most popular continuous integration tool. And we have integration with each and every tool in DevOps from Jenkins that comes through the plugins. If you install Maven plugin, you can interact with Maven. If you install Nexus plugin, you can interact with Nexus server. Okay. And shift left strategy we discussed. Instead of doing the testing and scanning after the deployment, before the deployment itself, if you do, you will get the best results. That's what we discussed. And static source code analysis, Sonar Cube, and then static application security testing, open source scanning, because your application is referring a lot of libraries from the internet. So you need to scan them. And continuous deployment and continuous delivery. Continuous delivery is nothing but you take the approval of your managers and technical managers, clients, to release it into the production. That is called as continuous delivery. Continuous deployment is nothing but deploying your server continuously on daily basis into non-production servers is called continuous deployment. So this is what we discussed till yesterday. And today we will discuss the first thing is three-tier architecture. So what is three-tier architecture? This is very important because nowadays nobody is using the desktop applications. Earlier, I was installing Excel. I was buying Microsoft Office. I was installing MS Excel and then presentation in my laptop itself directly. But now we are not using mostly in our laptops. We can go for Google Forms here. For example, if you just give Google Sheets or MS, you can directly create the sheet. Okay. So what is the use of it opening in the internet? What is the use between desktop application and web application? Can someone please write it in the chat if you know some advantages of the desktop versus web? So first advantage, you no need to install. And then second advantage is you no need to upgrade. No need to consume system resources. Need to consume memory and CPU. And very important thing is, yeah, this is storage. If your laptop crash, you can remove all the data. Okay? But if you keep it inside the web, your data is safe and secure. Okay, so these are all the advantages if you have it as a desktop application. You always need to find the upgrades, and you need to check the version compatibility. For example, if tomorrow you will upgrade to Windows 12 or 13, maybe your MS Excel or other softwares may not work directly. So you need to take care of all these things. Okay, it is consuming a lot of memory. It's very difficult to upgrade. And yeah, one more very important point from the chat. Sai Krishna, thank you. Accessible from anywhere. Okay. So if you have it in your laptop, you always should open your laptop to access. Otherwise, if it is in web, you can access it from anywhere in the world. So these are the advantages of web application. Okay, so even your Android apps and iOS apps, all those are following web applications. Okay, just like you install app in your phone, if you change your phone, still it will works. Okay, in background it uses three-tier architecture. Okay, even you install the app. Okay? So the data is coming from the somewhere from the server. So that is why web applications are becoming very popular nowadays. MS Office, Google, everything is coming to the web browsers to host their applications. Okay, so that is the popularity of web applications. Now we need to understand the architecture of it. So the popular architecture is three-tier architecture. Now let us discuss a simple real life example just daily around us. So this is a breakfast shop, roadside breakfast shop. So there is only one person and many persons are coming to the shop, like few persons are coming to the shop. He is taking care of multiple responsibilities. What are those responsibilities here? Like queue management, cooking, and then billing. So everything he is taking care of it. Okay. So maybe he can do at a time to 5 or 6 members. If suddenly there is a traffic of 20 or 30 members, can he manage continuously? There are 20 to 30 members to his shop. Can he manage it? So obviously no. So what he will do next thing, he will employ one more person. Okay. And he will employ one more person. Now his shop is becoming quite big and more traffic. So this guy, he's handling the queue management here. Okay. One guy, queue management. Another person is chef. Okay. So this shop maybe can handle more persons than this shop. Okay, the process is getting better here. Customer experience is also getting better, so at least they can get their orders quite fast. Okay, if there is a traffic of 100 or 200 members to this shop, can these guys manage? For example, he's getting lakhs of revenue. He wants to upgrade it to as a restaurant, because to get more customer experience, to get good customer experience, he will upgrade to the restaurant. So now in restaurant, so there will be a person called captain. So this captain, whenever you enter the restaurant, he will welcome you and he will show you which table is free. So then you will go and sit onto the table, and a person like waiter comes to you and they will take the order, and this waiter will hand over the order to the chef. This chef will get the raw items and he will cook it into the eatable format. Then you will get the order, then you will pay and you will leave the restaurant. So obviously process is getting better when you employ more persons to handle the more traffic. So not only this business, any business, if you are getting more and more traffic to your business, definitely you have to employ more persons to give good customer experience. So now let us discuss the advantages and disadvantages of these approaches. So here everything is done by single person. He cannot manage more. And here 2 persons, he cannot manage more. Now we got captain and waiter, chef, and then raw items. One second. Okay. Yeah. So these are the 4 persons we have it now. So now here, if you think, there is some security also here. So what is the security? Here in this shop, if they have some special recipe, you can directly watch it, how they are preparing. Here also you have a chance to watch, but here you don't have any chance to watch how is it happening, the special recipe, because you are completely stopped at the, you are not allowed to enter into the cooking area. So that is the security they are maintaining. So security is also a main concern here. You are not allowed to watch how the raw items is getting into prepare the popular recipe. Okay. And queue management. Queue management is handled at each and every level. Here it is handled, here it is handled. Okay. So now finally what these guys are doing is some raw items, they are making it to a meetable format, and these waiters, they will add some extra toppings, and then this guy is balancing the traffic. So definitely this has the good customer experience. Similarly, our applications, if you have a single server, so there will be a programming, and then this program will get the data from database like MySQL. If a normal non-technical user, for example, he don't know anything about software technologies, can he really understand MySQL data? So the MySQL data will be like this, MySQL user data. So the data will be like this in a row format. What is the username and something like this? What is the password? It is in a format of tables and columns. So a non-technical user cannot understand this data. So that is why we have programming languages like Java, .NET. So what these programming languages will do is it will query the database and it will fetch the data into some JSON formats. Okay. For example, if you want to see simple JSON format, okay, so this is the user. These are the users of your system. At least you are able to understand now. So MySQL data you cannot understand, but this data you can understand. What is the user ID? What is the email? What is the name, family name, nickname? So programming languages always query the database. Basically, they do the CRUD operations. Okay. When you are signing up into the Facebook, then Facebook PHP program will create the record. When you are logging in, it will read the record. When you are updating your profile, it will update. When you are deleting your account, it will do the delete. When you delete your post, it will do the delete. So basically, these are the things happening against the database, nothing else. Okay, I can say you always think of this CRUD operations, whatever you do, even you do it in shopping in the Amazon.com. So what you are doing is first you are signing up, that is the create operation. You are reading the products. I mean, you are browsing the products, that is the read operation. If you are ordering, that is something like update. If you are deleting your order, that is like delete. So whatever you do this, and in this entire software technologies, everything is a CRUD. Not only programming, even artificial intelligence, whatever the technology, everything is following the CRUD operation against the database. This is the low level thing happening in the software. Okay. Who is handling it? It is handled by Java on behalf of us. Java or .NET or Python or PHP, whatever the programming language, it will access the database. It will fetch the information like this. Okay. So now we have something called as web servers. So web servers is nothing but HTML technologies, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So these are for the decoration. Maybe a normal user cannot even understand this one, but he can easily understand the HTML format like this. Okay. So now he knows he has to enter the email address and then password and click login. So in background, this information is carried out like this. as a JSON format. And this one programming will verify against MySQL. If it is correct, then it will give you the success homepage. Otherwise, it will tell you wrong credentials. Okay. So this is how it is happening. First, you will have load balancer because millions of users are accessing facebook.com at a time. So first there will be a Facebook load balancer that will get the request and it will assign to the web server, which is free. Okay, it will assign to the web server, which is free. So this web server will give you this page and it will get the details of the username and password. And this web server will pass this information to the application server. Application server will use that username and password. It will query against database. If it is able to fetch the record successfully, then it will send a success response to the web server. Then if it is success, then it will directly send the home page. Then this home page is shown to the users. So this is the three-tier architecture. This is web tier, this is app tier, this is database tier. So if you categorize your any application in this IT technologies like this, then it is very easy for you to manage because web server will handle the queue. Okay, maybe this load balancer will send at least 10 to 20 requests to this web server. Slowly it will pick up one by one and it will send it to the app server. App server will fetch the database from query. So that is what it is happening. And there is something called security as well. Why? Because your Java program is running here. Okay. And database information also is here. Database usernames, password, database schema, designs, everything is here. If you open directly from load balancer to the app server also can handle just like this. Okay. Here, one guy can handle everything. He can cook, he can take the order, he can do the queue management, but the security is getting leaked here. His recipe is now showing to the entire world. Similarly here, this app server also can handle the queue, but the original responsibility of querying the database will be lost. Okay, here the original responsibility of cook is just to cook. If he starts handling the other responsibilities like queue management and then billing, then he cannot concentrate completely on cooking. So like that, so we are giving the clear-cut responsibilities, roles and responsibilities to each server so that it will only concentrate on that specific task, nothing else. Okay. So if you concentrate on only one task, the output will be very good. So like that, web server is only for queue and security. Security is nothing but code is running here. You are not allowed to open this one. So there is no chance of you check the code. Okay. So that is how the security is achieved here, queue management. And this one will show its maximum performance to query the database as soon as possible, fetching the data, handling over the data to the web server. That will do some decoration with HTML and it will send it to the user. Okay. So this is the three-tier architecture generally. So web tier, app tier, database tier. So this load balancer will also come into the web tier. Okay, whatever is exposed to the user, that is web tier. Whatever is not exposed running with programming like backend programming languages like Java, .NET, this is app tier. And this is the storage database tier. Okay, this can be MySQL or NoSQL, Redis, whatever. Ultimately, the store files also. Everything is a data. So this is the popular three-tier architecture nowadays. Each and every one of us is following through the web applications. Okay. So you should understand this. Our entire applications are going to be in this. And now we will discuss about infrastructure as a code. Okay. So you can see we have a lot of infrastructure here. You have web server, you have app server, you have databases, and then generally there will be a DNS also. Just like Route 53. DNS is nothing but facebook.com. So that also you have to create. So you have DNS, you have load balancer, you have web server, app server, and MySQL data, and you have security groups, firewalls between all these servers. This app server will only accept the traffic from web server. This database will only accept the traffic from app server. So there are firewalls also. So we have a lot of infrastructure, that is load balancer, servers, firewalls, DNS, databases, and then you have auto scaling features. So when the traffic is getting more, these servers can, these servers will be created automatically. More servers will be created automatically to handle the load. So we have a lot of infrastructure is happening to just to host your application. Okay, not only server, we need each and everything. So if you start creating this infrastructure manually, there will be more problems. So what is this? What are these more problems? Obviously, we decided we have to use cloud. Okay, for example, I'm logging into the cloud account. So you will have thousands of services inside the AWS account. You have VPCs, you have this server. If you create manually this infrastructure, so there will be two problems. One is if some problem occurs. Okay, for example, a person logged into the cloud account and he did some change, and that is causing the business downtime. To understand what went wrong, it will take at least some time to you. For example, like a few hours to understand where the problem. So in that few hours, your business is going down. So it is very difficult to trace. And you cannot understand who changed also. And for example, another thing, you are increasing the infrastructure more and more. You are increasing the infrastructure, you are adding more servers. Now I want to understand 1 month back, what was the infrastructure? Now what is the infrastructure? The difference between the infrastructure before 1 month and present. Okay, so you don't know what is happening, what happened 1 month back. Okay, can't get old infrastructure. To trace and restore also. You need to immediately restore to the back position here. Okay, and then creation also takes some time. If you do it manually, you have, maybe it will take like a few days to create this infrastructure one by one. And there is a dependency also. Now, if you check here, application server is dependent on database. Web server is dependent on app server. Load balancer is dependent on web server. So you need to create first database and then app server and then web server and then load balancer and then DNS, something like that. So you need to have clear-cut understanding of dependency management as well. Okay, and then inventory. So if I ask you what are the infrastructures we have, you need to go to each and every region and find out. So what are the S3 buckets we have and what are the RDS you have? You need to go into the console and then check manually, and you need to maintain to the client. So your client always asks us, what are the infrastructure you have? Give us the list, complete list. Then you have to go to the console and check each and every region. What are the infrastructures you have? Okay, so that is very difficult to manage the inventory also. And cost. Okay, so your dev servers are running, your production servers are running. If you want to delete them also, it will take, you have to carefully delete. You need to understand what are the dependencies. If you delete, so then it will take a lot of time for deletion also. That will give you more cost. So these are all the disadvantage of creating infrastructure manually. And for example, if suddenly a person leaves from your company, maybe he knows everything. If another person comes in his place, it will take too much time for him to understand what is happening in the infrastructure. So that is why we got something called as infrastructure as a code. Just like your application programming Java, you will also make this infrastructure as a code and keep it inside Git. For example, so you can see version control. Version control is the main advantage of Git, keeping it in Git. So today you release some infrastructure, it is causing severe downtime, severe defects, then you will immediately restore back to the previous version. Consistent infra, there is one big problem. This is also a very big advantage. So we used to listen this. It is working in dev, but not working in production. Why? Because the infrastructure in dev is different. The infrastructure in production is different. So we always concentrate on production more. We will not concentrate on dev. So the infrastructure between dev and production is always different. So that is why our applications are not getting better results. So if you want to create this infrastructure in multiple environments manually, that task will become more and more, and there is a high chance you do some mistakes while creating the infrastructure. So that is why if you keep it inside a code, then the same code you will apply to the dev, production, QA, pre-prod, everywhere, so that the infrastructure is 100% same in all the environments. If your application is tested in dev environment, definitely it is 100%, it will work in production also. Okay, automated infra CRUD, it means creation of the infrastructure. You can read. So I've said inventory management, right? Now, if you can read this, for example, let us see here. So we have our infrastructure like this. So this is our VPC. This is our internet gateway. This is public subnet. This is route table associations. This is NAT gateway. So all your infrastructure, you will keep it like this. Then anybody can understand and query these files to understand what are the infrastructure resources you have and which region. So that is the main advantage. Inventory management. So you can easily understand what are the resources you have what are the services you have in the cloud environment. Cost optimization. So you have everything here. If you're with a simple command, you can create the infrastructure. You can delete the infrastructure. For example, so these are our infrastructure. With a single command like this, Terraform apply, something like auto approve, you can create the infrastructure in minutes. And the dependency will be taken care automatically. Okay, you don't need to do anything. Everything will be taken care. So Terraform understands, infrastructure as a code understands what are the dependencies. And modular infra. Modular infra is nothing but once you write the code, okay, once you write the code, so this code can be used by any number of projects. Okay, if you write the code for one project, another project, like hundreds of projects also can use the same code to create the infrastructure easily. Okay, for example, if you develop a programming for one restaurant, the same code can be used to another restaurant with simple changes. Simple. So infrastructure also can become as a code. You can have maximum advantages of these things if you manage the infrastructure as a code. Okay. So each and every advantage you will get it if you manage the infrastructure as a code. So that is the Terraform is the popular infrastructure as a code. Now there is no alternative. It is the #1 tool in the market. So that is why you must learn Terraform as part of DevOps and cloud engineering. So nowadays, you are getting the questions in Terraform. If you are able to answer properly, you will be easily selected. And finally, let us discuss containerization. Okay. So earlier, at least 10-15 years back, So we had the code into monolithic or a complete single file only. Everything in a single file. Your web, your application, everything is in a single file. That is, this is your code, HTML, and then CSS, JavaScript, Java, JSP, something we have at that time, Servlet. Everything is in a single server. And you have the database. So now you know the disadvantages of it. Can someone please write what are the disadvantages if you have code like this? Just assume it is a Amazon.in. You can type in the chat. So there are disadvantages of this approach. Collaboration is very tough because there will be front-end engineers and back-end engineers. So you need to ultimately keep this code in a single file. Yeah, code readability, performance, can say security, and then change. If you have to do a single change, at least a single, like a simple space or also a single character change also, you need to go for full-time deployment again. You need to release it as a new version, remove the old version, copy the new version, stop the server, and then you have to do the deployment. So that is why 15 years back or 10 years, 12 years back, the deployments were very tough. We were having we were spending, like if you go to the office today, 6 p.m., then you come from office from tomorrow, 6 p.m. Or sometimes they will spend 1 or 2 days in the office itself because of these many disadvantages. Okay, everywhere you are facing challenge. So this is the legacy, I can say. Legacy systems. So now software systems understand, okay, this approach is not good. So at least let us differentiate it something like web server and app server. Now the applications are becoming like this. Web, app, and then DB. Let me draw it here. This is web, this is app, and this is DB. Now, what are the advantages? So in earlier approach, if there is a change in Java, also you have to deploy the application. If there is a change in HTML, also you have to deploy the application. But now here there is a clear-cut difference. If there is a change in web or HTML, CSS, you don't need to deploy this one. You can only take care of this one. So there will be a clear-cut differentiation between the front-end team, back-end team. Okay. So this is called as monolithic approach. In this approach, front-end is different and backend is different and database is different. Basically, three-tier architecture. So application releases, at least it will become very easy now. Front-end changes will go for front-end deployments only. Backend changes will go for backend deployments. You don't need to touch other things. Okay, readability, team maintenance, everything is becoming easy at this time. Okay, so front-end languages we have HTML, CSS, jQuery, and then Angular, React. So all these are front end, and these are connected to the backend through APIs, through JSON data. Okay. So these are Java, .NET, and then Python, Go language, PHP, anything like this. So now if you open Amazon.in, so in background there is cart functionality, there is product catalog, and there is user modules like sign in and sign up, and there will be payments, there will be vendors. There are a lot of things happening, shippings and delivery. So everything is happening in the background. So it has lot of modules. Backend has lot of modules: user management, cart, catalog, payment, shipping, order management, and even more. Even more is happening in the background. So now a simple error in the cart or catalog application can bring this entire application going down. Okay, because everything is together. Everything is together. A simple change in a simple error in one of this module can bring this entire application going down. So that is why what is happening nowadays is microservices. Microservices are nothing but now the application will become, there will be a web, okay, and there will be user module, there will be cart and catalog, so there will be order management, shipping. Okay, so just let me show that diagram now. So there will be a web tier, and in background you have catalog separate application. It has its own DB, user separate application, cart has its application, shipping. So if there is a change in cart, you will only go for cart deployment. So there will be separate cart team, separate shipping team, separate user team, separate catalog team. So now the application maintenance is becoming more and more easy. And if there is a error inside the order, if there is an error inside the order management or something like payment or shipping, customers can still browse it. Okay, so that is the advantage. So when you are keeping your application as minimum as possible with modules like this, then you will have the greatest advantages of maintaining the application as well as error handling. So error in payment, for example, payment has some errors, but still users can use these functionalities. Okay, nothing will stop. So that is the advantage of microservices. Now applications are becoming very, very small. So do we need a very big servers like big Linux servers to host these applications? So this hardly consumes very, very less memory. So we don't need big servers. Okay, here, if you have a single big application like this, if you have a single big application like this, you need a big server like WebLogic. You need to develop, host it into WebLogic, WebSphere, and then JBoss, very big servers like that. Here, you need a simple servers like at least somewhat the server performance can be reduced, server memory can be reduced in this. But here, your servers can become very, very small so that you will save some cost and a lot of advantages as part of containerization. Okay. So containerization is nothing but base OS, bare minimum. So in our Windows laptop, you can see there will be a lot of background processes running. We don't know what are those processes. We don't require also. So all I am doing is browsing the internet something. But here you can see there will be a lot of background processes, unnecessary graphics, everything is running. So just to host the application, you need bare minimum base OS. Bare minimum base OS and some packages like Java and application server like Tomcat, simple, and then application code. So this you will create it into image. This you call it as image, and you will ship it from development to production. This is called as image. Okay, in one server, you can host 100 images. In one simple Linux server, you can host at least more than 10 applications. Okay, one server can host at least 10 applications. So your resources are utilized very much here. Resource utilization is very good. And then portability. So once you build this image, you ship this image from development to production environment, so that there will be no change. There will be no point of working in dev and then not working in production. So we achieved that consistent infrastructure through Terraform, but the application part also you can achieve through the images. You create this image and then you ship it to the any environment. Just like you have your Windows ISO image, so that image can be hosted into any number of laptops. You can install that OS into any number of laptops. It will works as the same. Similarly, you are creating your application as image. This is called as immutable. You cannot change it. And then you ship it to the any environments. That is called portability. Resource utilization, portability, and boot time. So in this scenario, suddenly if the traffic is getting more, you need to buy a lot of servers. So buying the server and installing the OS, providing the network connection, power connection, configuring the server, everything is taking too much time in this case. Similarly, in this case also, it will take too much time. But here, for example, here it will take days time, at least 1 week time to create the server, to order the server, install the OS and install the application, go for release. In this approach, it may take hours of time. Okay, but in this container approach or images approach, containerization or images, it will take seconds, just seconds. Okay, so boot time is very, very less. If your application suddenly got too much traffic, just like AHA platform got too much traffic when Prabhas giving interview, so within few seconds, your application can increase, can have the more servers, more scalability. Okay, so there will be no downtime in this approach. Boot time is very less. Portability, resource utilization. So you have many advantages like auto scaling, self-healing. The application can restart itself if something going wrong. Okay, auto scaling, it is very good. And then reliability. So you may not understand everything at this point of time, but just trust me, if there is a wrong in one server, immediately your application will be shipped to another server. So with imaging, we have a lot of advantages. So in this area, so we got Docker and Kubernetes are popular technologies. Okay, so earlier we had this monolithic approach like this one. So nowadays, new projects and old projects are migrating into the containerization approach. This skill is mandatory. Docker and Kubernetes is mandatory, and then Terraform is also mandatory. So that's why I'm teaching with Unacademy from last few months, Terraform, Docker, and Kubernetes. Okay. So now these are the mandatory skills you should learn as part of DevOps and cloud engineering. So now let us list down Linux, shell scripting, Ansible, Jenkins CI/CD, and then Git, Maven, some build tools, NPM, like that. And then what else? SonarQube, Nexus, Terraform, Docker, Kubernetes, we call it as K8, and then AWS. And finally, it is monitoring. Okay. So now everything is good. You deployed the applications with Terraform as a code, like infrastructure as a code. You got it into a Docker and Kubernetes. You achieved this one. Everything is good. So now everything is good. You just leave it? No. For example, you built a very nice house. You just leave it like that. You have to continuously monitor the house. Okay. So why? Because there will be a lot of threats, security threats. So we all install CCTV cameras. If you're like banks and if a nice houses, and it's not our responsibility. Just, I mean, it's not. If your wish is to build a nice house, you should have a monitoring also. So what is happening outside of your house? Security threats. There will be more security threats. You have to continuously monitor, and then downtime. Maybe your power connections, your water connections, everything should not go down. Okay. So networking. So you need to monitor all these things. So like you have a lot of infrastructure, you have to go for infra monitoring, like your databases, your Linux servers, your web servers, everything is working very well or not. And then your application monitoring. Infra may be very good, but your application may be not responding sometimes. Okay, application always have some, any person, any system in this universe have always some defects. So it is our responsibility to monitor and then to improve. If you clear one defect today, you'll get new defect tomorrow. So it's a continuous approach. That is why it is called as continuous monitoring. So we add continuous to each and everything in our DevOps. Okay, because we don't stop it. We will do it continuously on daily basis. Because you have to understand there is no perfect system in software. You need to do the things continuously in a cycling process. So the monitoring tools popular will be now Prometheus, and then Grafana, ELK, New Relic. Earlier there was Nagios, but that is outdated now. So what we do is we will fetch the metrics from the servers, like how much traffic, how much memory, how much CPU. Okay, what is the request response time? Everything is working, but Amazon is loading very slowly. For example, when you search for a product, if it is taking 2 minutes time to load it, then definitely your experience is not good. You will immediately jump into the Flipkart. So that is why performance is also very important. So now we have a lot of competition between business. If you start a single business, not even online or offline, it is anyhow, you have a lot of competition. If your shop looks ugly, nobody will come. So you have to monitor proper infrastructure, you have to deploy proper employees with good knowledge on customer service management, and you need to always check for performance. Okay. So you need to monitor all these things as part of monitoring. So ultimately, in a 2 lines, what I can say as a DevOps and cloud engineer, deploy or release new features as speed as possible with more accuracy. So this is one responsibility. And then another one is monitor continuously for better process, for better. So if you monitor only, then you will understand what is going wrong. How can you clear? If you don't monitor, you cannot get it. So to achieve these 2 things, more accuracy is nothing but less defects. So to achieve these 2 things, so we are following this DevOps and cloud process. Okay. So just understand one point, there will be a scope for continuous improvement. There is no limit for that. You have to continuously improve yourself. So this is what I wanted to deliver as part of DevOps overview sessions, to make you understand what is DevOps, what is cloud, what are all these tools, why we are using, what are the concepts behind these tools. Okay. So tools doesn't matter. You understood the concept now. In future, once you learn the popular tool now, in future you can upgrade to any other tool. Okay, now let's have some questions. Santosh Avula. Raju.
Hi Shiva, good morning.
Yeah, hi, good morning.
Yeah, Regarding that monitoring, is there
Hmm.
any specific tools used for infra monitoring, application monitoring, performance monitoring? You mentioned
Yeah.
Prometheus, Grafana, ELK like that.
So these are like server monitoring. Grafana is for the dashboard graphs. You want to understand in last 3 months, like quarterly results, half yearly results, per
Mhm.
day results, hourly results. So this will give you graphs. And this is like metrics, like applications, server metrics. So this will be like logs, and this will be like performance. Okay.
Thank you.
So we have many tools available in the market. Not only this, many tools will come up as
Splunk
well.
also, I
Yeah.
heard Splunk also is used for log monitoring.
Splunk, yeah, some security related.
Mm.
Okay. So that's all. Thank you then. Navina.
Hi Shiva, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
I have a quick question on the containerization. So, say I have developed a application on
Hmm.
my Windows system and made it as a container image, but my server is on the Linux operating system, right? The host operating system is the Linux, but whereas my container lightweight operating system is Windows when I do an image. So, will that work, or it has to be
Yeah,
on?
it will work. So it is portable.
Oh, okay, okay.
Portable
So
underlying OS doesn't matter.
oh, okay. So we can, okay. So containers can be in any operating system under, even though the underlying host operating system is Linux.
Yes. So host
Oh,
OS
okay.
can be anything, but we have
Oh,
this container has its own OS.
oh, okay, okay, okay. And I didn't understand the connection between the Terraform and I don't know if it is too advanced a topic, but I didn't understand how this Terraform is related with this Kubernetes and Docker images.
Okay, Terraform is for infrastructure.
Right.
Kubernetes is at the application part, but you need to create the Kubernetes cluster.
Okay. So we
How can you
create
create the
Kubernetes
Kubernetes cluster? So that is through
via
Terraform.
Terraform.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Thank you, Shiva.
And everything inside the cloud. So you will have a lot of security groups, a lot of IAM roles required as part of Kubernetes cluster also. So those can be definitely created through the Terraform. Okay, thank you. Sheikh Ahmed.
Yeah, hi Shiva, good morning.
Yeah, hi, good morning.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for conducting these DevOps sessions.
Most welcome.
Yeah, so in your old videos, I have seen like you will be taking care of only resume preparation and interview questions. So these classes will be taken by you.
No, yeah, that's why I clearly mentioned in the website. So I'm the trainer from 30th July.
Okay, you'll be the trainer. Okay, and what about the recorded sessions? Will you be sharing only in any SharePoint location or can we download as well?
No, no, you cannot download. So obviously you can download. So
Okay.
that you're buying OEME also. Can you download? No. Okay, so we will take care of everything. So that is you can and you can see this full information here.
And here, like already we can see like few the developers are also attending the classes. So will you be
Okay.
teaching from layman terms like all these tools and everything?
Yeah, so we will discuss the concept. Right now we discuss the concept, right?
Yes, yes.
So this is the concept behind anything. So we will discuss the concept and then we will start installing from the scratch. Okay. So I don't think I think like everybody has zero knowledge in the DevOps. That's why you join for training.
Yes.
Maybe some of you has already some knowledge, but I assume you all have zero knowledge. But so I want to make this point also very clear. A lot of you guys are asking, I'm working in automation testing, I'm working as WebLogic, I'm working as JBoss, can I learn DevOps? So obviously, if you're all working in IT, so definitely you have to improve yourself. Definitely you have upgrade your career. So that's what DevOps is. So you need to continuously improve the process of deployment. Okay, So similarly, as a software engineer in IT, you also have to continuously upgrade. There is no question, actually, can I learn? Obviously, you can learn if you spend time and efforts. So you all have some knowledge. You know how the project teams are working, how you behave with team leader, how you behave with team manager, how to behave with clients, how to write emails. So this DevOps engineer is not completely 100% as DevOps work. So it has 50% of communication work like this and 50% of technology. If you just only know technology, if you don't know the other soft skills, you cannot survive. So you already have, as an IT engineer, you already have 50% of the skill set. You know how to manage. Okay. So now you have to take this responsibility of learning new technology, practicing it. Just attending the classes is not enough. Definitely, I suggest everybody to practice from daily 4 to ideally 24 hours. Okay.
And one more.
So then how, yeah. Yes,
And
please.
what all roles are there in this DevOps, and after completing this course, and under which role will get fit into it?
The positions are like junior DevOps engineer, senior DevOps engineer, team leader, team manager, technical manager, and architect. That's it. There is no admin, there is no developer.
Okay.
So everybody is creating some positions like DevOps admin, DevOps developer. There is nothing like DevOps admin, DevOps developer. It's DevOps engineers. That's it.
Okay. And within within the team, like when we are working in the project, so how exactly the work will be shared? Like right now we are working on ticket basis, right?
Yeah, so there also you will get tickets. For example, if you have to create a pipeline for some new project, you will get a ticket. So that's a project management. Project management will not apply. It will not apply only for DevOps. It will apply for everything. Okay. So this ticket, why we have just we want to track what you are doing, how you are doing. So what has done. Okay, not only tracking, just to know to-do list. For example, if you see my to-do list, so I have a simple track, what I have to do. So just like that, you will get obviously tickets. Even you work as developer, you work as team leader, team manager, client also, you will get the tickets. So similarly, here also you will get the ticket. Suppose if there is an error in the pipeline, you have to resolve that, you will get a ticket.
And one last question, like
Yes.
coming to the scripting shell, Python, and cloud AWS. So
Okay.
the whatever you teach will be enough, or we need to learn anything separately?
I'm trying to cover mostly everything. So I will give some interview questions like this. Okay. So these questions and answers are not like from the internet. Okay. You will not find this answer in the internet because this comes from our practice. So what you understood is the one I wrote here. What you understand while you are doing practice. If you just read the answer from the internet, so then clearly everybody can understand this answer is from internet. For example, if you search the same question in the internet, so that you will get different answer. This answer is coming from as your practice. Okay, and you can, if you read this answer also in the interviews, you cannot deliver properly. So when you deliver this answer with confidence is when you practice, when you really understand this answer, then only you can deliver.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Even for Azure DevOps also, these Linux shell scripting and Python will be usable, or there will be any different?
Sure, DevOps, I don't want to comment because personally I don't like it.
Okay. Okay.
Because everything is hidden.
Okay.
You don't see anything. You don't understand what is happening in the background also. Everything
What I'm
is
thinking
hidden.
is, if we learn this AWS DevOps, can we easily fit into Azure DevOps as well? Or
No, I'm just saying to learn DevOps first, not AWS DevOps or Azure DevOps. So AWS DevOps, I think you have to watch that recording. So there is a difference between AWS Cloud and AWS DevOps, Azure Cloud and Azure DevOps. Okay.
So AWS will also be you will be teaching from scratch.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So, and maybe every one of you, if you're already working in IT, you can learn if you spend some efforts. Okay. If someone is coming from non-IT and career gap, obviously you need to spend. So I don't want to give some fake statements like DevOps is very easy. Everybody can learn, just it will take 45 days, a lot of opportunities. That it's good. There is DevOps is trending technology. It has a lot of opportunities, good packages, good on-site opportunities. Everything is good. So when everything is good, it has the competition also. But who will survive in the competition? Whoever practice it sincerely, whoever learn it sincerely, then only they will serve in the competition. So IT guys already working in IT has little advantages because they know the IT things already, but non-IT guys and career gap guys, so you need to spend more time and more efforts than obviously than IT already working in IT guys. Okay, or freshers, anyone. If you spend more time, more efforts, more practice, then obviously you can get as DevOps engineer. Whatever the career gap you have, or whatever the current field you are working in, just focus on this completely, then obviously you will become DevOps engineer. Yeah, Sujata, you have some question?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
I'm going to search jobs on GCP with DevOps. So these
Okay.
concepts are help for me.
Yeah, DevOps concepts are same. DevOps concepts are same across any cloud. Okay, so the
Okay.
combination of cloud can be different. DevOps with AWS, DevOps with GCP, DevOps with Azure, DevOps with Alibaba, DevOps with DigitalOcean. It can be anything.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, most welcome. Hemant Kumar Katrakoti.
Hi, sir. Good morning. I would like to know, like, at the end of the classes or at the end of the 3 months of course duration, you'll be providing any course materials to us, sir, to recap everything.
Okay, first of all, don't call it as material and notes. Okay, so maybe in Amirpet they call it as notes and materials. So like we are going to becoming professionals, let's call it as documentation, and I'll give documentation like this. Okay, so notes, don't expect the complete notes from us, because you have to understand, you have to practice, you have to write it your own notes. Maybe in some coaching centers in our school days, we got some guides, we got some notes. So you listen and then you just read whatever they have given you. So it will not, that is not the good way. I will give you the documentation like this, and what you understood, prepare your own notes.
Okay.
So now I'm writing it. So I myself are writing too much. I'm writing too much just to make you understand. Why can't you write yourself to make you understand more clear? I'm clearly writing here. You listen the recording. Again, you write what you understood. So this recording is there for lifetime. You can refer it anytime you want.
Okay.
You
Sure,
don't
sir.
expect any PDF materials, any notes like from me. Okay. So I will give you documentation and you have to prepare your notes and then your, yeah, whatever you call.
Okay. But you'll be providing like interview guidance, like what might be the interview questions on what topics they might have more questions like that.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Anil Kumar.
Hi, Shiva. Good morning.
Yeah. Hi. Good morning.
I have a general question.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, I'm coming from non-IT background. I want to switch from my electrical engineering to IT background. So,
Okay.
will I need any prerequisite?
Yeah. So Linux, I already mentioned in earlier sessions. Even I teach from Linux, but it's always good if you have some time. It's always good you prepare something. Okay. In our channel, we have Linux sessions already. So you prepare these Linux sessions and start learning shell scripting also if you have time. Okay. You have, for example, if you're joining our course, you have time today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow. You can go through this Linux sessions to understand what is Linux. And if you have time, go for shell scripting as well. Okay. And if you have more time, refer something from the internet.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but whatever I'm teaching, that is enough. But always, if you have time, try for some other content also. I don't want you to stop.
After joining this course, how much time I will spend for this?
24 hours a day, ideally.
I'm working as a professional, so I have limited time to practice.
Obviously steal the time. So how much time I have to spend, that is based on individual capability. Maybe you have some mandatory works to complete, and steal the time. I will say steal the time from everything. Spend as maximum time as possible. There is no limit. Okay.
For practicing purpose, normal laptop is enough. I mean,
Yeah,
low
normal
end.
bare minimum laptop is enough. i3 4 GB RAM is enough.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Sai Krishna.
Hi Shiva, morning.
Good morning.
I won't take much time. I just have a couple of questions. One
Yes.
thing is like when we start our actual sessions, will you provide the AWS link to practice for container and Kubernetes? Or?
AWS link, there is
Mm-mm.
no, there is no AWS link. Everybody can create your own account.
So free accounts, right?
Yes, mostly
Oh.
free, but there will be some charges. Be careful while using it.
Oh, okay. So you will guide us, right? Guide me.
I
Deletion.
mean, in YouTube, sign up process I cannot, but deletion we can.
Yeah,
Whenever
deletion.
yeah.
Right, is okay. Thank you, sir. And one more thing is like, how can I contact you? This 60 or 64 is your number? Like,
So you can find our number in Join DevOps Store.
yeah. Okay, Shiva. Thank you, Shiva. Thank you.
Most welcome. Satish Kumar Chillapalli.
Hi, good morning, Siva.
Yeah, good morning.
So, as you said now, we are not providing material means as a fresher, I'm the IT. So I want to more the scripting knowledge based like Python scripting as well as scale scripting. If in production, if you are not getting, how we will get out that scale scripting and all Python scripting? Regarding
We
the
are
scripting,
maintaining this, right? We are maintaining the repositories like this. For example, you can find the scripting we are practicing here.
Okay. So from there we can get it now.
Yes, from GitHub you can get it everything. Whatever we are doing, everything we are going to maintain in GitHub. So that is why I call it as GitOps.
Okay.
So you will find 100% of the things we are doing in the course in GitHub. So that is
in production and that is
wherever.
And one more second question. Actually, I came from other department. So you just now you said soft skills and everything is there for who are now in IT field. Any small in these 3 months you are providing like any soft skills like how you have to give the mails.
No, I'm the DevOps
team.
and cloud trainer, not the soft skills trainer. So that you should
just
you should have that automatically.
Yeah. Thank you. That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
So soft skills is not another technology anyhow. That's a common sense generally. So how you behave with your fellow members, how you behave with your leaders. Obviously, we give some respect to the team leaders and team managers. So you will do friendship with your fellow members.
How to write
I'm not telling to you.
Mails and all.
No, I'm not telling to you. I'm just telling to the whole guys. Okay. So how to write emails, all those things I cannot teach. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. Rajashekar Vyas.
Hello, Shiva. Actually, thanks for your time these 5 days. Actually,
Yes.
I'm attending from day one, these 5 days.
Okay, very good.
Say one thing actually. So, I'm working for Microsoft for Azure project. So, if I learn Azure project, yeah.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
So now, if I learn this AWS, actually, DevOps concepts are both apart from the cloud, whether it's Azure or AWS. It is fine, right? From moving from Azure to AWS now.
You no need to move. You will become like a multi-cloud engineer. So multi-cloud DevOps engineer. So you know DevOps, you know AWS. Then it's always good, right? You know Azure. So you don't need to move. So concepts are same. In Azure, concepts are same. In AWS also concepts are same. In Azure, you call it with a different name. You call it as VM. Here you call it as EC2 instance. In Azure, what you call the VPC, like something like VNet. You call it as VPC. That's it. This will be more advantage for you.
Yeah, and one more thing. So here, right, I think we can cover like Kubernetes, Terraforms. Might be I know like only with the Terraform also multiple jobs are there. If suppose I take Terraform just Azure, so these two also I can get a job. I think it will give
So
benefit.
without understanding cloud, you will become cloud engineer. Okay.
Okay.
So obviously, if you have DevOps knowledge, then you will be in a good position. Even Terraform infrastructure, how can you create it? With the DevOps only, you have to deploy. So you cannot run the commands from your laptop. Okay, you have to run it from the Jenkins server or somewhere else. So everywhere DevOps process is followed. That is why I said DevOps and cloud are two wheels to a bike.
Okay. Right. And one last thing.
Yes.
So see, right, I don't know how many people was attended for the like how many people took the training last batch. I think last batch not given by you. I know. So like how many got jobs? Like what is the success rate here? Just I want to.
So I don't really calculate. It is completely based on the persons. Mostly persons already working in IT, they're joining. Okay, at least 70-80%. So obviously they are in the job. So if whoever is desperate, we are doing our best from our side. So we are giving the resume preparations, we are giving the interview preparations, real-time projects and everything. I never calculated, I never did marketing on those lines as well. Maybe from this session, this time we will do that, like testimonials, all those things, but we handle it well from our side. So we have Slack chats, we have everything.
Okay, right. And just one thing. So approximately how many people will join training in every batch?
Not sure. So we need to finalize after 1 week. So first 1 week, many persons will join, because when we say you can attend for free, many persons will join, but first 1 week will have little disturbance, but it's fine. We can handle. Okay. That is mostly from Linux, right? And it's a basic, everybody knows already. Yeah. So then this time I expect it will be smooth.
Right, Shiva. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah. Most welcome.
I see. You have already course now in that one, like Terraform and all. Actually, until CI, I know, only I want to CD like a Microsoft services. So can I take that course, or we are covering all that one in this course also?
So I'm covering everything in this DevOps with AWS.
Okay. Okay. Already I found that one course 5,500 to even there. Like the Terraform and
because I started this Terraform and Kubernetes because many guys learned DevOps at many places, like many institutes, many online learnings, but they are not teaching Terraform and Docker Kubernetes very well, not up to the markets, and few institutes they're not touching those concepts as well. Okay. Yes. So that is why there is a lot of gap between the candidates and the interviews. So that's why I started, okay, with bare minimum price. Okay, nobody will teach Terraform. Maybe if you find something like Kubernetes training, definitely they will teach more than 10,000. They will charge more than 10,000. Definitely, that is for
that's
sure.
That's what I'm asking. Here we are getting more subject on the Terraform, or that scores also same on
both same.
Okay.
Hello, Shiva. I
Yeah,
have one question. Yeah, Shiva, you are teaching Ansible and Terraform, right?
Yeah.
Ansible also maintain the infrastructure, right? What is the difference between
Ansible will not maintain. Ansible is intended for configuration management, not for an infrastructure creation.
Okay.
So you can, but that is not the best.
Yeah, that is my question. Is possible, right? What is the disadvantage from Ansible and what is the advantage of Terraform?
So you can do with one tool, you can do many other things, but there is an expertise. Terraform is originally created for infrastructure automation. Ansible is originally created for configuration management, but they added something, but anyhow, that is not good. There are a lot of disadvantages. You can do a simple search for now. Okay, we have a lot of things. So always we go for expertise. Terraform is expertise in infrastructure as automation. Ansible is in expertise in configuration management. You can do configuration management with Terraform also, but we don't do. That's not good practice.
Okay. So Shiva, one more question. We have to using the Terraform to deployment is also possible in.
Yeah, deployment we are going to use. Configuration management and continuous deployments we will use.
Without downtime?
That is like through the normal servers, you will have downtime. But for Docker and Kubernetes as a containers, you will not have downtime.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Most welcome. So Vamsi Krishna. Vamsi Krishna.
Sir, I have some question. Actually, I have 5 years of career gap.
Okay.
So, but you can try. You can, or you can say you can say to the find the DevOps. But another you can choose. Can say you can. Sorry. You can suggest any other program with without DevOps. But
today I'm here to talk about DevOps. I can't give other suggestions.
So,
okay.
Actually, I'm sorry to say this, but I don't know saying this at the time. But without DevOps, but you can suggest any other better career gap students. So.
No, I can't suggest right now. Okay, maybe you just message us. We'll discuss later.
Okay. Thank you.
Janardhan?
Yeah. Hi, Shiva. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Janardhan.
Yeah, actually, I have a question on the monitoring tools. Like you said that Prometheus and Grafana, one of the monitoring tool we have. See, as a Kubernetes cluster, so we have application monitoring and also we have the cluster monitoring. So this Prometheus will help for monitoring both cluster as well as, because as part of the cluster, we have the
it can
servers and then master node, and
yes, it can.
It will do. So
yes.
Okay. So we can monitor and we can pick up, I mean, application related monitoring and how the performance and as well as the server's performance as well.
Yes, you can.
Okay. And also I have a question. It's like in our website, you mentioned that you will going to replicate the multi environments, like say however we do on the production, like in real time.
Yes,
like you see on your screen, like multi environments.
Yes.
So we replicate the same thing here in our sessions.
Yes. That's why I mentioned here. We replicate multiple environments here.
Okay, these things will start maybe once we cover a few of the related tools, right?
Yes, I said Terraform, consistent infrastructure between dev and production, right? So that is how it is useful. And then portability in Docker and Kubernetes, right? That is where it is useful.
Okay. And one more thing, just a second.
Okay, so anyhow, these are like you are going a little bit in depth of the tools, but my intention is to teach you, to tell you about the concept. So everything is possible. Okay, don't worry about that.
And also that's a good thing you said that, like, okay, from the day one we do the projects, and it's not like, okay, we end up the course. Some people, I mean, it is a traditional way of doing the people at the outside, like they teach all the tools and at the last they do all the projects. That is not a good way. But the best thing that what you are bringing up is like, after teaching everything, I mean, in the process of teaching everything, like you are introducing the tools, I mean, projects, and making to understand the people, like, okay, how it can be integrated with the other stuff. Yeah, that is a really good part of the session. I like.
Yes, just to prove that point. So in our Kubernetes sessions, first we install the RoboShow project as a Docker containers, and later we install with. So we discussed the disadvantages of Docker and why you should move to the Kubernetes. So then we discussed Kubernetes, and then finally we implemented the best practices, and then we made it as like advanced thing.
Okay.
So that is how slowly from basics we will start, and then we will reach the best level.
Yeah, one last question, Shiva, if you don't mind. Actually, as part of the Jenkins, a lot of people have a lot of questions like continuous integration, delivery, and deployment. Like here, and also I have seen a few videos of you on YouTube, like you have mentioned in like the
lost your voice. QA to product. Application promotion. Yes.
Promotion. Are we going to show us that's the same thing, like how to promote from one environment to another environment?
Yes. Obviously, if you have multiple environments, definitely you need to do that promotion.
So that happens automatically, or do we need to?
No, we need some approvals. For
Approvals.
example, if you are going for production, you cannot directly deploy it in production at this stage now. So at least you will check, your team leader, your technical manager will check will give you few approvals, then you go for production.
That will be manual.
That we will replicate here. Yes, manual trigger, just a button.
Okay. Fine, sure. Thank you for your
Most
time.
welcome. Swati.
After this training over, it will available share also. So.
Swati, you have some question?
Yeah, Shiva.
Yes.
Actually, I don't have any experience in that. Today, last 15 minutes only I joined. Okay, I want to talk with you personally. Any possibility to
Yeah,
send
you
any
ping us to our number in this joinedhouse.com. You can find our number, then you can ping to us. Thank you so much.
Sorry, where I hello.
Sorry, your voice is not clear. You just ping to our WhatsApp number. There we can discuss. Thank you. Manohar, you have some question? Hello, Manohar.
Yeah, hi Shiva.
Hi.
Yeah, I just wanted to know the flow of the course.
Yeah, whatever we discussed in this overview sessions, that is the flow.
And yeah, and one more thing, like in AWS, you will be like teaching us all the process, like starting from creating an account to configuring everything.
Create account. I cannot teach it because I cannot create multiple accounts.
Yeah, okay.
You find any YouTube video, even I have posted video on how to create AWS account. Just follow that account.
Okay, yeah. Sure.
To follow that video, create your account. At least you guys do the creation of AWS account before attending the course. So it's not very much difficult, just entering your details. But I said how to create the account also. Give the credit card or mostly debit card and enter the same name, whatever the debit card is registered with, and the same address.
Yeah, okay, sure. And yeah, in the website I can see for some other batches there will be like your team will be teaching us. What about this batch? Who will be the trainer?
Yeah, it's me.
Okay,
thank you. And any other questions? Naresh Khanna. Hare Krishna Vapu. Murali. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Naresh Khanna.
Yes, hi Naresh.
Yeah, is it necessary to integrate the Ansible along with Terraform?
Not necessary. But Ansible is very limited. Like within the EC2 instance, if you want to configure something, and you can go for Ansible. Okay. So yeah, if you integrate it, that is good. Otherwise, not a problem also.
And can we use the Terraform for multiple cloud providers at the same time?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Thank you, Shiva.
Yeah, most welcome.
Yeah.
Praveen.
Hi, Shiva.
Yeah, hi, Praveen.
No, this is Murali.
Yeah, hi, Murali.
One question, I saw another session that, to take some certification, like it's like a AWS architect related or something. So while you are taking this course, is there any guidance if somebody is interested to take the certification?
Yes.
From you?
Yes, definitely I can support.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's all for today. So we are finally
Hi,
came
Shiva.
to end. Yes, hi.
Shravan
Yes,
here.
yes, Shravan.
One quick question. So
Yes,
I'm
please.
joining this course with the assumption that if I learn this course, so most of my company clients are Microsoft actually. So
Okay.
none of my projects are with AWS or AWS DevOps. But I'm still wanted to join this course because I assume that once I learn this course, I will be able to easily learn Azure DevOps also. Is my understanding?
Yes, 100%.
With that assumption, I'm joining this course. Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Thank you, Shiva. Thank you.
Okay, most welcome. So we successfully completed our overview sessions. Thanks to you all for joining. So I hope I delivered my best. Yeah. Okay. So that's all for these sessions. You can find all the recordings of that in our channel, Join DevOps, if you just search it. So I recommend you go and then watch this Linux if you are not aware of it already. Okay. And shell scripting if you still have more time. So yeah, practice how to practice. Also, I told many times in YouTube videos, that's the best way to practice, at least from my side. Okay. Have a nice weekend. See you on Sunday demo session. You no need, you guys, if you attended these warrior sessions, you no need to attend demo. Okay. You can directly join from day one. And first 1 week, it will be Linux. A nice weekend. Bye-bye. See you. All the best for your careers.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah. See you.